What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Turbo, man, coming to y'all with some moves y'all can use, man. And about them first round in the playoffs, man. What y'all think, man? What y'all been thinking about the first round of the playoffs? I already gave y'all my last video. Already gave y'all my I gave y'all my favorite series, a couple favorite series, and they are actually going the way I expected. What one of them is Clippers, Mavericks, Knicks, Hawks. Now, one thing about them games right there, man. One thing about them games right there. Them series, I'm sorry. Mavericks one took a turn. I actually thought they were going to be by about 5 or 6, which is on pace to still be 6 if they can win one in the Staples and then one at the crib. We're going to get into this game, as y'all can see who I'm using, man. The GOAT is back again, man. The GOAT is back on 2K. Yes, I have the Clippers. This is actually some old footage. It's actually some old footage when Kawhi was hurt, PG was by himself, things like that. Some old footage. You saw him making adjustments and things, but enough of that. We're going to get back into this playoff talk, man, because the playoffs has been a little crazy. I seen where Tatum dropped 50, and I seen where the Brooklyn Nets are up 3-1. They won the 2 games at home. I really feel like if Jaylen Brown was in that series, I'm not saying they would beat the Nets, but they would have a significantly better chance in winning some games, winning more games, probably taking them to 7 as he gets the bucket right there. He was just throwing it down court most of the time, trying to get easy buckets. But about the playoff series, my favorite one though, again, is the Knicks and the Hawks. The Knicks and the Hawks, I think they kind of lit a fire under Trae Young. He's a great. He will be a great. I do feel like that the way his career is going, he will be a great. And they just lit a fire under that young boy, man. They really just pulled some potential out of him that we all have been seeing. But it's like, okay, now it's coming a little more efficiently. Now he's a little more motivated. Now he's a little more upset. So it's forcing him to play better. It's forcing him to play better, and it's actually working on the Hawks' favor because the Hawks are not a bad team. They have a great roster. They have more than, I would say, 4. I would say they have more than 4 options. They can get you double figures any game. I wouldn't say every game though, but any game. After the Knicks fans yelled that that "F you Trae Young" chant, I think that's what really just, all right, lit a fire under Trae Young, lit a fire under Atlanta, and as you can see, they won 3 out of 4. Last game, I believe they had a 14-point lead at the half. I was seeing what Julius was doing. Not saying that he's to, so not saying he's to blame or anything, but he is a star, and he's not contributing the way he should. He's averaging 14 and like 8 rebounds, about 4 or 5 assists, which, okay, that's all right, but going from 24, 10, and 6 in the season, you're shooting 24% from the field. So they're playing him. They're playing Julius Randle very. They're just keeping an eye on him. I can't think of the term right now. They're I can't even talk right now. I'm stuttered. They're definitely keeping an eye on him though, by shooting 24%. The Hawks have been playing very good defense. John Collins had a breakout game. What did y'all think about that foul? Did y'all feel like that was a flagrant? When Julius Randle went up? Now, I know it wasn't intentional, so I'm not saying I think it's a flagrant, but I was just wondering because anything above the shoulders that's considered a foul is a flagrant, but it's also unnecessary. Things like that are other things that play a factor into calling that foul. But man, he gave John Collins a blow to the nose. But they were up 14 at the half. Knicks did shrink the lead because they do, man. Knicks play hard, man. I will say that Knicks play very hard. Knicks play hard. The game 2 that they won, that's when they were playing at peak potential at the standard that their fans and everybody expected them to play at least a couple times. We're not saying he's going to do that against every team, which of course every fan expects their team to win, yes. But I just feel like the Hawks, man, Hawks got their number. The Hawks, they have better playmakers. They have better offensive options. They have great defenders. They have more two-way players. RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, they can't do it themselves. Not yet, I'm going to say that, because they haven't had a lot of playoff experience. Julius Randle, I think he's had a couple years, but then I can't think. He was on the Lakers, so they never really went to the playoffs. If there's any other team he's played for, I probably missed it. But yeah, that series, man, that series, I say Hawks in 6. I want to say in 5, but they're going back to they're going back to the Knicks arena. They're going back to the Garden, man, and then the Garden It's just different. It's different in the playoffs, man. But it's good to see the Knicks. They are in the playoffs, though. It's definitely good to see them in the playoffs. Clippers and Mavericks series. That took a turn. That took a turn. Let's talk about that, man. Clippers and Mavericks series definitely took a turn. Definitely took a turn. Definitely took a turn. Kawhi, he's been very good. He's been Kawhi. PG has been playing a little better, but it is the Mavericks that we're talking about. They're not a slouch, offensively, defensively. Luka is a baller. Luka has, whoever you put on Luka, he's giving them buckets. Now, he hasn't been shooting very well from the 3-point, but the last 2 games he definitely has. The first game, game 3, I think, where the Clippers came back and lost. Clippers came back and won. Mavericks lost, I mean. What threw me off about that series, both teams lost at home twice. Let that sink in. Both teams lost at home twice in the Western Conference. That's to show you how competitive that series is. That's to show you can't sleep on anybody. You can't sleep on anybody, because when I seen them go up 2-0, I'm like, 2-0 at the Staples? Like, think about that. 2-0 at the Staples. I wasn't really too sure on how many games they were going to win. I said about 5 or 6. I said it'll go 5 or 6, just giving them the benefit of the doubt. But I really believe that they're probably going to get them out in 5. But Clippers said, no, we're not going for that, fam. And they just started hitting. They started hitting shots. Luka, they slowed him down a little bit, but what I can say is they made it to where, how can I put it? They made it to where, okay, if Luka's going to score, he's going to score. But if Luka's not going to score, we're going to make everyone else score. And if Luka is on, we're going to make it hard for everybody else, because one man can't beat a team. And I do like that strategy. Kawhi definitely stepped the scoring up. PG has stepped his little defense up a little bit, but it's still things people want to see from PG, because there's been too many times in the playoffs to where PG has just went quiet, and he's had an MVP caliber year. He's had about 2 or 3 of them in his career, so we know what he's capable of. We know he can play stifling defense. We know he can lock down 1 through 4. I mean, he do me dirty right there, man. Y'all see that? Y'all see I be getting done dirty, man. These people be trying to beat me, man. As we get the dunk right there with Paul George. But yes, Lakers and Phoenix series. Sorry if I'm transitioning too fast, but I just want to get give y'all a little bit of knowledge, just in case people trying to keep up with the playoffs. Give y'all a little bit of knowledge, just give y'all something to watch. Go give y'all something to look at, man. Go watch the highlights. Just go see the games yourselves. I watch them live just to get a deep analysis. And right now I'm doing them series by series, but as of course the playoffs progress and there's less teams, I would do a game by game analysis, giving you a lot more details, man. But I'm just giving y'all what's in my mind and what I see on the court. But that the Phoenix and LA series, they tied it up 2-2. It's also 2-2 right there. Western Conference, they got some crazy matchups, man. And the second round ain't gonna be no better. The second round is not gonna be any better, especially for the East too, because I believe that in the bracket, the Bucks will face the winner of the Celtics and Nets series. And I know y'all seen, I only have to talk about that, but I know y'all seen how the Heat got swept. They went from the finals to get swept in the first round, which I can't say that they played worse, but they had some identity issues. I would say they had some identity issues. Faced a lot of COVID, injury, things like that. This season was kind of just a scramble, man. They just wanted to get in the playoffs. As we green right there with Ron John, man. Y'all see playoff Rondo out there. But back to the Lakers and Suns series. That series, I love it. I love it. I love that series as well. I watched 2 games of it. I didn't watch the other 2. So I missed 1 game of each. Basically, Lakers lost 1 game, Suns lost 1 game. But I also witnessed 2 of the games where one of them won, one of them lost as well. So just based off what I've seen in my analysis, man, Devin Booker. I mean, it's not much you can do with LA being the Phoenix Suns, but I will say this: I love their confidence, because they go out there and play like they're any other team. They go out there and play like, hey, we're the second seed. You have to watch out for us. We're not going to just, this LeBron James, this him, this. No, I love that. Chris Paul did get hurt, but that's Chris Paul, man. I hate that it happens so much, but Chris Paul gets hurt a lot in the playoffs, and he's very vital to whatever his team. Because if y'all can see, Phoenix wasn't even the top 8 seed, and they won 8-0 in the bubble. Chris Paul came, which, not saying they haven't been playing better, they definitely been playing better, but Chris Paul is a vital reason on why they've been playing better. He's definitely a reason on why they've been playing better. Man is a great leader, a great playmaker. Numbers don't tell the story all the time. Numbers don't lie either. But numbers don't tell the story all the time when it comes to things like this. Just watching the game and seeing his leadership and seeing how better his team play offensively, defensively, off the ball, pick and roll defense. Watching the paint. Chris Paul is just he has a lot of young talent with him, and he's being patient. He's helping these people progress. And what I love about that team is they're not too young. They're old enough to understand when they need to progress, and they're old enough to understand when somebody's telling them something. He knows how to talk to his teammates. He knows how to pull that potential out of his teammates. But Devin Booker, man, I will say if Devin Booker could shoot a little better. If Devin Booker could shoot a little better from the 3-point line, because from what I've seen in the regular season, I'm not too sure on what his accuracy is by the percentage in the playoffs, but he was shooting 34%, and we all know Devin Booker is a walking bucket. So for him to be shooting 34% behind the 3-point line, that really doesn't strike winning basketball, even though he is giving you 26. But in the playoffs, man, people key in on your strengths and try to make them your weaknesses. People key in on your strengths and try to make them the weaknesses. Portland, and Denver. That is going to Game 7. I did forget about that. Sorry, y'all. I'll probably do I will do another video, and all the series I did miss. I will give a little deeper analysis, man. But I'm just trying to get y'all, man, watch these playoffs, man. I'm just letting y'all know the playoffs are crazy this year. You don't know what's going to happen. You do know there is a set few teams. Of course, Brooklyn. Of course, Philly. Of course, LA. Lakers. It's just a lot going on, man. I want y'all to watch the first round, man. It's a lot to assess, man. If y'all got any specific series y'all want me to analyze and break down, I will do that for you. But that's enough for this video, man. Like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.